So let me start. Good. Hey everyone, Dobar dan. My name is Sergey. I work at Pimlico as a lead engineer. So we're building usually account abstraction layer, paymasters, bundlers. We are those who are sending transactions on Ethereum and plenty of other chains. Here I'm going to talk about how to make wallets, access to wallets, more human. We are all obviously tired, and we all tried seed phrases, mnemonics, writing them down, losing them, and everything. Fortunately, as of today, we have a great alternative to it, so-called passkeys. I believe pretty much everyone, right, have tried them at least once, maybe in Web 2, not Web 3. This is the Face ID you're using, if you wish, on your iPhone. We're going to talk about how to make UX feel as good as Apple ID. So yeah, let's see how they work and how to drop them into your dApp. So here is the demo. You probably use this app. It's called Dymo, great wallet. Strongly advise you to try. Why we care about passkeys? You can see on a video how it works. So just a single double tap, and that's it. So passkeys, first off, they're phishing proof. There is no seed phrase. There is no thing that user actually got his hands on. So you can't phish the user into sending you the private key or the seed phrase. And they're also origin specific, which additionally increases this phishing phishing proof. So next thing is obviously muscle proof. Finally, we have this piece of tech that allows us not to onboard users, normal users. They are already familiar with basically how to use their wallet if they're using Passkey-powered wallets. It really works well with account abstraction. So account abstraction, if you're familiar with 4337 EAP, it doesn't care about how the signature is made, what is the signature, and Passkey has a little bit different signatures than we are used to, but it's not a problem. Again, it works smooth with the existing account abstraction infrastructure. There was a problem when passkeys first appeared in Web 3 with how much gas they would consume on verifying the signature, again, because of the non-standard cryptography. But it's almost not a problem anymore, and will be probably gone completely in the next few years. So it's getting cheaper. Platform coverage. In this room, every device, you already have the passkey support on your phone or your laptop, so you don't really need to install, extensions as we used to do, or even the mobile app. You just have it out of the box. Speaking of security model, the passkeys itself are stored in the hardware enclave, basically. So here you can see the moving parts. There are quite a few of them compared to the common way of signing and sending transactions. So here, let me go fast through them. We have a browser which implements the WebAuthn standard, which exposes the API so you can create the passkey or you can request a signature from the browser. We have the authenticator. This is where the private key lives, never leaves the authenticator. It's usually hardware chip inside your phone or maybe external hardware like a YubiKey. The passkeys are more or less well synced between devices. So let's say if you have two iPhones or two different devices with Google Chrome and both you are signed into the same profile, they will be synced between those devices, which is again pretty cool. You don't need to manually copy anything. And final part, if we were talking about Web 2, we would need to verify the login, that the user actually logged into your website with the correct passkey. In case of Web 3, we need to verify the signature on the smart contract. We need to check that the signature indeed correct and the execution can keep going. So few notes on the cryptography side. Passkeys themselves, this whole standard, I believe it was created before the blockchain became such a big thing. So one flaw is that it does not support the so-called CCP256K1 curve, which is native to Ethereum, Bitcoin, and everyone else. So you have a few choices. Basically, everyone uses the same signature, which uses the P256 curve. It doesn't really matter what it means. That's an old cryptography, I guess, from the 90s, maybe even older. And this is what generates the signature. And here comes the question, how do you check the signature on-chain? So we have good news is that since Passkey became a thing 2 years ago, it was relatively expensive to verify them on-chain. It would take you, I guess, at first $500,000 of gas, which is extremely dangerous. And then eventually it dropped down to 3,000 gas, which is the same amount of gas you would spend on the regular signature verification as if you're used to. So it's basically cost the same to send a Passkey transaction on Ethereum as to send the regular transaction. There are a few other cryptography standards supported, but they're not really relevant to the blockchain. So just stick with P256 and hope that the chain you're using, the chain you're sending your transaction to, it supports this precompile. You can see the name of it is the Rollup Improvement Protocol 7212. So the idea is that there is a precompile on certain chains. Unfortunately, not on the mainnet yet, but whole OP stack supports it, and Polygon supports it as well. So Base and other chains, they all have this precompile, and for you, if you're using the modern stack smart accounts, they are automatically detecting this precompile, using it, and this is how you get 3,000 gas per Passkey signature verification. That's it. The rest of the chains will probably fall back to 300,000 gas until they implement this proposal. So you don't need, fortunately, to hand-roll Passkey's support. There are plenty of existing smart accounts. You can just choose whatever you want to. There is a safe, which is battle-tested. Everyone knows, and they have the Passkey model. There is a Biconomy implementation called Nexus. There is a great product made by ZeroDev. They call it kernel account, and it also natively supports Passkey's. And Coinbase have their own smart account, which also support Passkey. So you can just choose whatever you like. From the SDK perspective, we at Pimlico maintain the permissionless library, which is the most popular library in the space for working with smart accounts. So you actually don't even need to figure out the differences between those smart accounts. You can just use our SDK, and it hides on the complexity. So let's say you can stick with kernel, and probably won't notice the difference between the other smart accounts as well. It's pretty technically savvy to find the differences between them. So next thing to remember is there are still a few gotchas if you're implementing Passkey's smart accounts in your dApp. So first off, remember that this thing lives on the device and usually does not live the hardware enclave. So if user loses the Passkey, the wallet which has this Passkey, the account gets bricked. So you should probably think about adding some extra measures, maybe alternative ways to authenticate a user. I don't know, social recovery, or maybe even ZK email, things like this. So there may be quite a hustle if you are going to migrate from one ecosystem to another. Again, if you're only using Apple products, that's fine. If you're only using Google products, it's fine. Once you start migrating from one ecosystem to another, it may be tricky to get your passkeys with you. And the last thing that I call chooser fatigue. When you're working with passkeys, user has to use the standard, UX that browser provides, and if you're not accurate, if you're not creating the descriptive names, the user might see something like this, and well, it's probably even worse than the existing UX. So there are still few flaws, but they're definitely solvable. Next thing about how to add the Passkey support into your dApp. So let's say you decided to build a dApp, you want your smart accounts to be powered completely by passkeys, you don't care about seed phrases and everything. Then you can actually do it pretty fast. So we at Pimlico maintain our own library, we just recently released. It's called Batua. It works extremely well with VM and VAGMI, so if your dApp already uses this tech stack, it will take you just a few lines of code to add the support to it. Since we're doing the account abstraction infrastructure, it all comes in included. The paymaster, the bundler, basically you have to put your API key there, and all transactions, they will be sponsored. Your users don't need to have guess. They don't have to think about it. They just do the Face ID, and the transactions are automatically sent. Another important thing that we care a lot when building Batua is that you finally think of it, since you don't need the external wallet anymore. You don't need a mobile app or extension. You finally own all the components that are involved in your dApp. So let's say before, when the user was sending transaction using MetaMask, and this window appeared, and it is hard to use it, right? It's hard to read what's written there. This cold data or EAP 712 signature, it's hard to verify it. Usually, users just skip it. From now on, since you own all the stack, you can create a way more better interfaces for your user. You can take this screen that's used to confirm a transaction and refactor it so it solves exactly your problem and explains very well to the user what's happening here, what type of transaction is sent. You can explain it into a plain text. Again, Paymaster and Bundler comes included, so you don't think about how transactions are landed on chain. Pimlico or any other account abstraction provider, we don't have a vendor lock, so you feel free to replace us if you want to, and your transaction will be sponsored and landed on chain. And the last thing, we're using zero-dev kernel smart account implementation, which I mentioned before. So it's heavily audited and battle tested. So yeah, this thing feels secure. This is a short demo of how it looks to use the Passkey smart account. So give me a second. You can see there is no connecting wallets, no QR codes as of now. All it takes on your Mac is to do the fingerprint. Transaction will be sent and will be included. So on this connected smart account wallet, there is no even ETH to pay for the gas. You don't need them anymore. Next thing, let me mention a few other frameworks that are also working on this. So first off, there is a great product made by Porto, this team Ithaca. They're working on Foundry, they're working on VM and WAGMI, and they are also doing the sort of similar library called Porto. I certainly recommend you to take a look on it. Not only it works well, but it also implements a few very experimental features that are not here yet in general crypto landscape. So for example, they have this wonderful 7715 subscriptions you may heard of. I guess the vast majority of wallets don't support them yet, but you can go to their website, demo website, and see how it works. So the problem they're solving, let's say, with these subscriptions is that user can only approve the, let's say, 100 USDC spending per hour to a dApp with one signature, and then the dApp itself can transfer this USDC once it needs them. So users don't have to confirm every single withdrawal. They will be automatically and securely withdrawn from his wallet. There is also a third web SDK. Alchemy works on their account kit, and Privy also supports passkeys in their smart accounts. So yeah, plenty of companies working on it. Just to recall, as of today, we have passkeys. They're more or less generally supported on smart accounts. It takes just a few lines of code to support them in your dApp. There are still few UX gaps, but you can definitely solve them. Yeah, all the links are available by this QR code. Thank you for your attention. Any questions?
Can I use my passkey from your wallet and reuse it from Porto?
No, you cannot. So basically passkeys, and this is not something that we did or Porto, it's part of this general crypto standard. They are origin specific. So let's say if you're creating passkey on github.com, you won't be able to use it to log into your Gmail. Those will be like literally different passkeys. Same with Porto and Batua, just because those are different domains. So as I know, Porto works on this idea of having sort of the iframe inside of their library, which points to their single domain. And this is what allows you to reuse the same passkey, which basically, what matters is not the passkey, but the address you're getting. So currently, if you're using Batua on 2 different websites, you will have 2 different wallets. So this is how embedded wallets work right now. Let's say same if you ever used Privy-based applications, you're getting different wallets. And Porto is experimenting with having a single wallet. It comes with question about phishing proof, because, well, there is a reason why they were made origin specific, because they're very prone to being phished. But yeah, we'll see. There is another interesting idea. I believe Coinbase have a great post in their blog about sub-accounts. So the idea is that you have sort of the main account, and you have a tree of different accounts. Each one is like origin specific, but they're still connected to your main account. Let's say they can pool the funds if you allow them to do so. So technically, those are different accounts, but at the end, they're, let's say, sharing the liquidity, which might be interesting. Yeah.
Hi there. So in our dApp, we basically use Biconomy, but an older version. We didn't yet switch to Nexus. And for the social login part, we use the Particle wallet. Mm-hmm. And we have 2 or 3 dApps. And the thing you mentioned before is, I think we actually have the same address on both of these apps. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, you can do this. I'm not sure. So which provider are you using for passkeys-based smart accounts?
Just Biconomy.
Well, they might have the same tweak, because again, the cryptography originally is pretty strict on this. I believe they, in their SDK, can make it work on different domains and giving you the same addresses. But yeah, it's not necessary that you want this feature to be enabled.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it works. I just wanted to check. Thank you.
So if the domain goes down,
sorry?
If the domain goes down, like porto.sh, I guess, then
yeah,
also my wallet is pretty much gone.
Exactly. Same with the, like, in general, again, embedded accounts, they depend pretty heavily on the domain. I guess, there is a term called Passkey server, which you usually use. This is the thing that verifies your signature. It knows, well, basically it knows your public key and can verify the authenticity of your request. If it goes down, yeah, your passkey is dead. We can say this. So this is the reason, and again, we made an accent while building Batua that you can self-host this so-called Passkey server, so you don't depend on our infrastructure or anyone else. But yeah, if it goes down, that would hurt. Yeah, then thank you for your attention. Let me